Chapter 2356. Ancestor Dragon City. This was the most ancient dragon city in the Divine Dragon Empire. It had been passed down for a long time. Only the most talented dragon race disciples in the empire had the qualifications to reside there. Those who could enter were either cultivators with divine dragon bloodlines or extremely talented mixed-blood dragon cultivators. Normally, it was not open to the public. It would only be open to the public during grand ceremonies or extremely important events. Clearly, the battle for the Dragon Emperor was a major event. Compared to offering sacrifices to the dragon god, it was not much different. In the Divine Dragon Empire, the Dragon Emperor could reign for only 500 years. After that, there would be a new competition. However, ever since the Blue Dragon bloodline had been exterminated, the position of Dragon Emperor was almost always held by the Golden Dragon bloodline. The other Divine Dragon bloodlines could not compete with it at all. The current Dragon Emperor was the Golden Dragon clan's Purple Gold Dragon Emperor. According to the clan's rules, he could continue to reign for another 10 years. However, he chose to abdicate on his own accord today to compete for the position of Dragon Emperor again. The 6-colored divine dragons and the heaven dragon made up of mixed-blood dragons were qualified to send one person to compete for the Dragon Emperor position. It was said to be a competition, but anyone with a discerning eye knew. Qin Ming had already obtained the inheritance of the Bushan Palace, and was now a 9-veined sovereign emperor, with a grade 7 golden dragon bloodline. The others simply could not compete with him. The so-called competition was just a formality. The upper echelon of the 6-colored divine dragons and the Heaven Dragon Palace had already arrived at Ancestor Dragon City's Dragon God Plaza. The ancient Dragon God Square was vast and boundless. The Dragon God statue stood tall and dignified. Many figures filled the plaza. All the elite cultivators in Ancestor Dragon City had rushed over. Dragons gathered from all directions, and the wind and clouds surged. The 6-colored divine dragons were the Gold Dragon, Silver Dragon, White Dragon, Blue Dragon, Green Dragon, and Red Dragon. Now that they had all arrived, they were all gathered in one place. The Golden Dragon race was the mightiest. The Purple Gold Dragon Emperor sat on the throne, and many Golden Dragon race experts stood around him. Apart from that, there were also other experts from the Great Desolate Era Bloodline Empire, who had come to observe the ceremony. Surrounded by the stars, Qin Ming wore the Golden Dragon holy armor. Coupled with his handsome appearance, he looked extraordinarily heroic and outstanding. The dragon might of the primordial Golden Dragon emanated from his body, giving off a strong oppressive force. Even though everyone here was a sovereign emperor with the bloodline of the Golden Dragon race and the other empires, they still felt significant pressure. Bai Yunfei and Xiaohozun from the White Marsh Beast Empire sighed inwardly. The one who obtained the inheritance of Bushan Palace and became the son of an era that Bushan Palace focused on nurturing had already left the two of them in the dust. Qin Ming, the battle to become the Dragon Emperor this time is none other than you. I think that the competitors from the other 5-colored divine dragons are not even a tenth as good as you. Bai Yunfei said in a relaxed manner after looking around and sizing up the competitors of the various schools. Qin Ming said coolly, "The position of Dragon Emperor is definitely mine. The entire Bushan Palace supports me. Who dares to oppose me? I just want to know whether Xiaochun dares to come or not." At the mention of Xiaochun, Qin Ming's eyes revealed a thick murderous intent. That hatred was frightening. Bai Yunfei and Xiaohozun both knew that Xiaochun once crushed Qin Ming into meat paste in the ancient Yin Emperor tomb. Qin Ming nearly died. The name Xiaochun had already become taboo to Qin Ming. The others simply did not dare to mention it in front of him. That Jiang he seems somewhat unfathomable. Xiaohozun said softly as he pointed to the southwest of the plaza, where the Heaven Dragon Palace was. After Jiang he arrived in the Divine Dragon Empire, he naturally obtained a spot in the Heaven Dragon Palace with his status as a Heaven Dragon descendant. Qin Ming showed a cold expression as he said indifferently, "I heard that he refined the entire ethereal immortal palace and completely comprehended the mysteries of the Heaven Dragon. He is an opponent worth paying attention to. However, that is all." "That person is the top beauty of your dragon race?" Bai Yunfei's gaze fell on the opposite side of the plaza, where the White Dragon Palace's people gathered. Within the vast crowd of people, there was a beautiful figure. Her style was unmatched, and her temperament was otherworldly. She had a face that could topple cities, and there was a myriad of charm to her. She was easily recognized. Strong possessiveness flashed in Qin Ming's eyes. He snorted coldly and said, "That's right. It is her Lu Ruyue. This woman has always been cold to me. She even gave me a bad look in public several times. Let's see how she dares to reject me after I become the Dragon Emperor." Xiahou Zun smiled and said, "In that case, I'll congratulate Brother Qin in advance. You obtained both the country and the beauty." At this moment, where the White Dragon Palace's people gathered, a girl beside Lu Ruyue frowned and said, "Elder sister, that Qin Ming is looking at you like a thief again. He must be up to something." This girl was Lu Ruyun, the White Dragon King's daughter, the White Dragon race's little princess. "Let him be. Someone will deal with him." Lu Ruyun showed a somewhat sad expression. There was practically no suspense in this fight to become the Dragon Emperor. No one expected the Bushan Palace to interfere in the fight to become the Dragon Emperor. If Qin Ming had not obtained the Bushan Palace's inheritance, Lu Ruyue would have been strong enough to fight him. Given Lu Ruyue's strength, she could still fight against him. Now he was being nurtured as an epic son. Qin Ming was a nine-veined sovereign emperor. Furthermore, he had awakened his ancient golden dragon bloodline. The other competitors, including Lu Ruyue, would not be a match for him. The so-called fight to become the Dragon Emperor was just a show to justify the other party's ascension to the Dragon Emperor position. However, Lu Ruyue had heard that there was an overt scheme in this fight to become the Dragon Emperor. Someone had secretly allied the epic masters of the righteous Tao and demonic Tao to kill the person who betrayed the empire. That person had fought against Yuan Zhen, who possessed the entire Buddhist nation, by himself in the Yanwu dynasty. That person had not been at a disadvantage against Yuan Zhen, and left calmly. That person's terrifying strength inspired fear in all the other epic masters. After learning that Qin Ming would definitely come to Ancestor Dragon City to participate in the fight to become the Dragon Emperor, they worked together to lay a trap. Then, they would turn this place into his burial ground. For some reason, Lu Ruyue felt worried in her heart, hoping that that person would not appear. There was a vague figure lingering in the depths of her memory. However, no matter how hard she tried, she could not recall who it was. "Ruyue, what are you thinking?" The White Dragon King asked softly as he walked over and looked at Lu Ruyue. Lu Ruyue recovered her wits and replied softly, "I'm thinking that since it is just a formality, can we choose to give up?" "That's right. Father, why put on an act? Why give him a legitimate chance to ascend to the Dragon Emperor position?" Lu Ruyun said quickly, clearly in agreement. A pained expression flashed in the White Dragon King's eyes. He smiled bitterly and said, "The other divine dragon palaces are thinking the same thing. However, we need to continue this act. This is because we have the dragon race bloodline flowing in our veins. Our fates are firmly tied to the empire. We cannot break free." "Father, if you had known that the fight to become the Dragon Emperor would end up like this back then, would you still have nurtured me to fight for the Dragon Emperor position?" Lu Ruyue asked softly. The White Dragon King's heart skipped a beat. As Lu Ruyue grew stronger, she could already feel that some of her memories were missing. However, Lu Ruyue had never doubted him to his face. It was clear that she still respected this father of hers in name. "If I had a choice, I would never let you participate in the battle of the Dragon Emperor," the White Dragon King said directly without hesitation. Many years ago, when he first met Xiao Chun, a certain thought in the depths of his heart had already been shaken. Was bringing Lu Ruyue from the Sky Dome realm to the Great Thousand Realms a wrong decision for the sake of the White Dragon race? To be honest, he was at a loss. If that person really came, then, with Xiao Chen's current strength, how was Xiao Chen supposed to face him? If he could, like Lu Ruyue, he hoped that Xiao Chen would not come. Xiao. At this moment, the radiance of the blazing sun shone on the majestic dragon god statue. All of a sudden, dazzling golden light shone brilliantly. The ancient dragon god statue stood at the center of the Dragon God Plaza, rising proudly like a towering mountain. The most eye-catching thing was its vigorous dragon claw. Under the dragon god's gaze, It looked very divine. The time is up. The competition to become the Dragon Emperor officially begins. Palace masters, please send out the candidates of your palaces. Whoever can climb onto the dragon claw and receive the gaze of the dragon god will become the new Dragon Emperor. The purple gold Dragon Emperor announced loudly as he stood up from his throne. After speaking, the Red Dragon Palace's candidate, Yen, was the first to arrive. Like a meteor, he landed heavily on the Dragon God Plaza, causing a fiery light to spread out. The Blue Dragon Palace's Changfeng leaped up gently and followed closely behind. One candidate after another landed on the Dragon God Plaza. However, they did not attract much cheers or attention. Everyone knew that there was not much suspense in this competition to become the Dragon Emperor. Only when Jiang He arrived did he attract some attention. After all, the Heaven Dragon was a respectable existence in the Divine Dragon Empire. Jiang He could inherit his father's will and comprehend the Heaven Dragon's mysteries, which made some people view him in a different light. Boom! A vast, ancient dragon might suddenly burst out. It was Qin Ming arriving at the Dragon God Plaza. When Qin Ming unleashed his 9-vein Sovereign Emperor cultivation, he instantly outshone the other 6. As the ancient golden dragon might roared, he attracted everyone's attention and startled cries. Qin Ming's might was much stronger than that of many older generation 9-vein sovereign emperors. Jiang He did not look at Qin Ming. Instead, his gaze fell on the dragon god statue. The statue was 30 kilometers tall, towering over the vast plaza. Even at the periphery, one could clearly feel the dragon god's might and pressure. If one approached, this might and pressure would be even more horrifying. Qin Ming's cultivation base and the primordial golden dragon bloodline gave him an absolute advantage. Indeed, after Qin Ming arrived at the Dragon God Plaza, he took the lead and charged over. Whoosh! 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 After crossing the periphery, many ancient dragon generals materialized in the Dragon God Plaza. It was like they traveled through the great desolate Aeon. Arriving in heavy armor, they stopped everyone from advancing, swearing to defend the dragon god's might to the death. Qin Ming showed a disdainful expression as he wielded the Emperor Dragon Sword and moved about fearlessly. He left a trail of dust in his wake, easily shattering the dragon generals that materialized in one exchange. In mere moments, the distance between him and the others became clear. In the end, he is the Qin Ming who obtained the inheritance of the Bushan Palace. Such grace has never been seen in the previous Dragon Emperor races. He's too strong. He's advancing so quickly. I'm afraid he's going to create an unprecedented record. Those ancient dragon generals are so weak before him. Indeed, if not for Situ Changfeng, Yen, and the others fighting bitterly, others would think that they are just decorations. Qin Ming's unrivaled grace won the applause of the crowd. The dragon race disciples gathered in the surroundings were all shocked. Just as Qin Ming was about to enter the dragon god domain and formally climb the dragon god statue, the entire ancestor dragon city suddenly shook. The entire ancestor dragon city suddenly trembled. A melodious saber hum rang out. A saber light covered the blazing sun in the sky for 5,000 kilometers around. The sky instantly turned dark. The eyes of Ao Jiao and the Heavenly Alliance experts where the Heaven Dragon Palace was gathered lit up. Xiaoqun is here. Chapter 2357. Qin Ming's aura was flourishing in Dragon God Plaza. When this strange change happened, his expression changed slightly. Qin Ming had charged forward courageously in Dragon God Plaza, getting into a killing frenzy. He had thought that Xiaoqun would not come. Who knew? Just as Qin Ming prepared to enter the Dragon God's domain and climb the Dragon God statue, Xiaoqun suddenly appeared. I can't be bothered with you. I'll climb the Dragon God statue first before settling the score with you. Qin Ming quickly made up his mind to continue forward and enter the Dragon God's domain. As for Xiaoqun, there were so many experts in the Bushan Palace. They were not just for show. It would not be that easy for him to cause trouble. Kill him. The purple gold dragon emperor ordered mercilessly from the throne with a cold expression. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. The many foe gods from the Bushan Palace immediately soared into the air to attack Xiaoqun. Protect Xiaoqun. Mu Zifeng said softly with a faint smile. Mu Zifeng, who was with the Heaven Dragon Palace's group, smiled faintly and said softly, "Whoosh." Under the lead of Swearenji and Hua Tianyang, the hidden Heavenly Alliance foe gods blocked this group of foe gods with ferocious auras. The large number of foe gods in the sky above Ancestor Dragon City instantly fought, looking like they would tear the entire sky apart. The purple gold dragon emperor sat on the throne on the tall platform, not showing any surprise on his face. He had expected that this group of Heavenly Alliance foe gods would come to support Xiaoqin long ago. With the support of Ancestor Dragon City's formation, this group of foe gods would not be able to cause too much of a stir. As for Xiaoqin, there were plenty of people to deal with him. There was no need for him to expose too many of his trump cards. Purple Gold Dragon Emperor, you lackey. Do you still remember me, Jiang Tian? Just at this moment, a ferocious roar resounded throughout the entire Ancestor Dragon City. The Heaven Dragons rage. The dragon roar unique to the Heaven Dragon roared in all directions, shaking the sky. This dragon roar suppressed the might of the battle between the foe gods in the sky. What's going on? The voice that the Purple Gold Dragon Emperor had not heard in a long time suddenly appeared. The expression of the confident Purple Gold Dragon Emperor changed drastically. Xiao, the figure of the previous generation Heaven Dragon Jiang Tian, arrived in the blink of an eye, and landed on the tall building opposite Dragon God Plaza. Xiaoqin looked down at the Purple Gold Dragon Emperor from above. A boundless fighting spirit blazed in his eyes, and his dragon might blazed like a fierce fire. That pure Heaven Dragon battle will attracted the attention of countless dragon race martial artists. The Heaven Dragon was a special bloodline that surpassed the 6-vein divine dragons. It would forever be a legend of the dragon race. Although the Divine Dragon Empire had not seen Jiang He for many years, Jiang He's story had been circulating in private. Heaven Dragon's might. It really is the Heaven Dragon. Is he that Jiang He who offended the Emperor's might, and was imprisoned in the Starry Dragon Penitentiary? Why did he come out? This dragon might is so terrifying. The shock that Jiang He brought was even greater than that of the group of foe gods in the Astral War. You dragon race traitor, you are truly bold. To think that you dare to come to Ancestor Dragon City. 6-colored divine dragons, listen up. Kill him. The Purple Gold Dragon Emperor did his best to suppress the shock in his heart. He recalled that this was Ancestor Dragon City, where all the experts of the dragon race gathered. As the Purple Gold Dragon Emperor, the Purple Gold Dragon Emperor could command the dragons. There was no need to fear this Jiang Tian. After all, the Purple Gold Dragon Emperor controlled the dragon race's Darch Seal. The older generation experts of Ancestor Dragon City had to obey his orders. Who dares to attack? A hoarse voice came from behind Jiang Tian. Then the Shadow Dragon Sovereign swung the god-slaying sword in his hand. Ta, ta, ta. Inside Ancestor Dragon City, the Blood Dragon guards riding great desolate Ian mutated beasts wore scarlet masks and battle armor. More than 1,000 Blood Dragon guards rushed over from all directions. Without exception, they were all Sovereign Emperor experts. The Blood Dragon Guards was a faction of the Blue Dragon bloodline that the Blood-Soaked Dragon Emperor personally established. After enduring for tens of thousands of years, the Blood Dragon Guards unleashed all their accumulations. The might that erupted startled the Purple Gold Dragon Emperor. Lord Dragon Sovereign. The older generation dragon race experts of Ancestor Dragon City clearly recognized the blind old man and respected him. When the blind old man appeared, they were incredibly shocked and no longer dared to attack. The blind old man said indifferently, "The fight to become the Dragon Emperor will continue. Right now, we are only dealing with the grudge between Jiang Tian and the Purple Gold Dragon Emperor. Those who trust me, the blind old man, do not interfere for now. I will give you an explanation after this. Since Lord Dragon Sovereign has spoken naturally, we do not dare to be rash." Although the blind old man spent most of his time in the Starry Heavens Dragon Prison, the older generation experts of Ancestor Dragon City still respected him. After the blind old man guaranteed his reputation, these older generation experts of Ancestor Dragon City chose to remain neutral for now. Purple Gold Dragon Emperor. Do you dare to fight me head-on again? Jiang Tian glared at the purple gold dragon emperor as he issued a challenge. The purple gold dragon emperor cursed in his heart. The appearance of Jiang Tian and the blind old man completely disrupted his plans. This was especially so for this group of older generation experts of Ancestor Dragon City to not listen to his orders. This embarrassed him even more. I already defeated you before. How hard is it to defeat you again? Rage filled the purple gold dragon emperor's heart. He ferociously slammed the armrest of his throne and sword into the air, charging at Jiang Tian. The series of strange changes not only disrupted the purple gold dragon emperor's plans, but also caught the hidden epic scions off guard. Unexpectedly, such a dramatic scene could happen in Ancestor Dragon City. The purple gold dragon emperor immediately panicked, allowing Xiao Chen to soar through the air and land in Dragon God Plaza. Good timing. When Qin Ming saw Xiao Chen land, he stopped thinking about anything else. When Xiao Chen landed, he thrust his sword over. Boom! The terrifying dragon might of the primordial golden dragon burst forth from his body as he thrust his sword forward. The instant the sword thrust out, the tip of the sword gathered all the dragon might in one spot. That spot of golden light nearly tore space apart. Scram! Xiao Chen descended while carrying an overwhelming saber might. He did not dodge this sword strike that Qin Ming sent out after storing up power. Then he ruthlessly chopped down with Heavenly Slayer. When driven by the cycle Great Dao, the flawless saber Dao that surpassed the epic grew endlessly and endlessly. The divine might of Xiao Chen's blue dragon sword. He did not show any fear when facing the might of that ancient golden dragon, clashing head-on. Cassier. The saber chopped down on that spot of golden light, forcibly dimming that resplendent sword light. Blood leaked out of Qin Ming's lips as he frantically retreated, completely unable to control himself. Before the horrified expression on Qin Ming's face could fade, Xiao Chen pressed forward and brought out his saber Dao to its limits with Heavenly Slayer. The surging Heavenly Dao's killing intent chopped down the golden dragon might, slowly diminishing the vast aura coming from Qin Ming. Even the Shadow Dragon Sovereign said that he was not a match for Xiao Chen after leaving the Starry Heavens Dragon prison. Naturally, Qin Ming's strength went without saying. The moment they clashed, Qin Ming fell into a disadvantageous position. Xiao Chen's overwhelming saber intent enveloped him, forcing him to retreat. The blue dragon materialized by Xiao Chen's dragon might tore the golden dragon image behind Qin Ming, leaving him in a sorry state. How could Qin Ming's grade 7 golden dragon bloodline compare to Xiao Chen's royal blue dragon bloodline? Xiao Chen, you forced me to do this. Divine Dragon Forbidden Technique, Dragon God's Rage. After 100 moves, Qin Ming was already in a sorry state. It looked like he was about to lose all his momentum and lose. Qin Ming roared, and his physical body changed wildly. Dense golden dragon scales appeared all over his body. His body continuously elongated, and his limbs turned into dragon claws. Golden dragon horns grew on his forehead as if he was reverting to his ancestry and becoming a true ancient golden dragon. Roar! 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 The roars coming from Qin Ming's body contained a terrifying bestial nature from the great desolate Aeon, startling everyone present. Their expressions changed drastically. The people who were familiar with Xiao Chen said at the same time, "Be careful, Xiao Chen. He is reverting to his ancestral roots." When one flower blooms, fragrance wafts everywhere. Circulating the cycle Great Dao to its limits, Xiao Chen took a step forward unhurriedly. When he took this step, it was like he broke the barrier of the world. The surrounding scenery and people all froze. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. As soft as a swallow, Qin Ming moved like a rainbow. He raised his hand and swung his saber. By the time he turned around, Xiao Chen had already sent out 3 saber strikes. Boom! The surrounding scenery started moving again. Before Qin Ming could successfully revert to his ancestral roots, the 3 saber lights pierced through him. Qin Ming's physical body reverted to its original form. As the Heavenly Dao's killing intent destroyed him, his life force quickly faded. When the 3 saber lights layered over each other, Qin Ming's life force came to an end. The previously insufferably arrogant Qin Ming died so easily at Xiao Chen's hands. He died in an extremely pathetic manner, surpassing everyone's expectations. However, Those with good judgment could tell that it was not that Qin Ming was too weak. Instead, it was that Xiao Chen was too strong. Whoosh! Before the crowd recovered from the shock of Qin Ming's death, the dragon god statue suddenly released a bright light as if it came to life. The dragon god has awakened. Now is the best time to climb the dragon god statue. As long as we climb that dragon claw, we can receive the dragon god's blessing. The dragon god actually awakened. This is a rare auspicious sign. Whoosh! 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 Figures flashed, and the candidates of the various outer palaces moved at the same time, flying towards the dragon god statue. Among them, the ones at the very front were Jiang He and Lu Ruyue. Aside from Xiao Chen and Qin Ming, these two were much stronger than the others. The difference was obvious. With Qin Ming dead and Xiao Chen not moving, the two of them would definitely be the fastest. Father! I cannot disappoint father. Jiang He showed a determined gaze. He did not stop at all as he climbed the dragon god statue. Whoosh! However, another figure soon caught up. Now the three of them stood shoulder to shoulder. Each of them contained a different saber intent. It was like three saber lights soared into the clouds at the same time. They endured the dragon god statue's immense might and pressure, and reached the peak. Naturally, the one who caught up was Xiao Chen. When Jiang He looked back, he could not help thinking about the heavenly book scholar's prediction. The three saber lights before Jiang He seemed to be the same as the prediction from back then. However, Jiang He knew that since Xiao Chen intended to compete, his chances of becoming the Dragon Emperor were practically zero. Whoosh! However, just at this moment, Xiao Chen suddenly turned around and stopped, blocking Lu Ruyue's path. When Jiang He saw this scene, he could not help feeling stunned and stopped as well. Xiao Chen turned his head and looked over. Bathed in the dragon god's light, he smiled softly and said, Jiang He, don't stop. Prove yourself to your father that you are no longer the child from back then. You are the Jiang He who comprehended the heaven dragon's mysteries, and can climb to the peak of the dragon god by yourself. Xiao Chen. Jiang He felt warmth in his heart when he heard that. He felt somewhat surprised that Xiao Chen understood him so well. Jiang He nodded heavily, afraid that Xiao Chen would see his moist eyes. Then, he immediately turned around and did his best to endure the dragon god's might and pressure with greater confidence. You. Lu Ruyue looked at Xiao Chen, and was about to speak. Then, she saw Xiao Chen turn around, and the boundless power of cycles gathered at his fingertip. Then, he pressed his finger on Lu Ruyue's forehead and broke the seal in her soul pool at lightning speed. Whoosh! Lu Ruyue's memories flashed. The memories that had been sealed away for decades immediately flooded Lu Ruyue's mind like the tide. Chapter 2358. Xiao Chen used the power of cycles to break the memory seal in Lu Ruyue's soul pool with one finger. Lu Ruyue recalled all the things of the past. Lu Ruyue appeared somewhat dazed, like she had a very long dream. As she looked at Xiao Chen in front, her eyes instantly turned moist. Xiao Chen. She remembered. She remembered everything. She remembered the various memories she had with Xiao Chen on Qingyun Peak at the Heavenly Saber Pavilion. She remembered Ruoyan from back then, and that youth standing at the highest peak of the Heavenly Saber Pavilion, loudly declaring that he liked her. There were many more. It was no wonder that after so many years, even if her memories were sealed, no matter how much time passed, no matter how the world changed, she could not erase that trace of love imprinted in the depths of her soul. No matter how much time passed, no matter how the world changed, that trace of love could not erase that trace of love imprinted in the depths of her soul. Back then, they had gone through life and death together. Even if they turned to ashes, that trace of love could still give off a resplendent light in the ashes. You have suffered all these years. You searched so hard for me, and I even injured you. Lu Ruyue could not stop the tears in her eyes. When she thought of Xiao Chen, even when the Golden Dragon bloodline chased after him, he still took the risk to enter the White Dragon Palace to meet her. However, she still injured Xiao Chen. When Lu Ruyue thought of this, she could not help but feel guilty. Xiao Chen's eyes moistened slightly. These were tears of joy. At this instant, he knew that he had made the right choice. It was better to let someone else be the Dragon Emperor. Xiao Chen had a free nature, and did not like to be someone else's pawn. He was not willing to accept Dragon Emperor Xiao Yun's plan from 10,000 years ago. He just needed to properly repay the Blue Dragon bloodline's kindness. He needed to use his own method to live out his own glory. He did not want to live in a dead person's plan. Even if he had no choice, he had to make his own choices. It's fine. Let's go first. Xiao Chen consoled Lu Ruyue. Then he held her hand and soared into the air, landing where the people of the Heaven Dragon Palace gathered. Boom! The Purple Gold Dragon Emperor fought with Jiang Tian in the sky and lost as well. The Purple Gold Dragon Emperor was horrified. He was filled with grief and rage. He had lost this battle too thoroughly. Even his most beloved son, Qin Ming, had died in the hands of Xiao Chen. He had lost everything. The Purple Gold Dragon Emperor noticed the playful expressions of the other palace masters. After so many years of oppression, the other dragon palaces had long since disliked the Golden Dragon bloodline. Now he had been utterly defeated. There would be no place for him in the Divine Dragon Empire. As long as there's life, there's hope. I'll leave first and make a comeback in the future. Gotcha. But just as he was about to move, a ray of sword light pierced through his chest. It was the Shadow Dragon's sovereign who pinned him to the ground, restraining him. Your debt has not been settled yet. It won't be that easy for you to leave. The Shadow Dragon sovereign's tone was cold, and his expression was indifferent. All these years you have been loyal to the Holy Lord's lackey, suppressing the other divine dragon temples, and framing the Heaven Dragon. All these have to be accounted for. Whoosh! Suddenly, two beams of divine light appeared in Dragon God Plaza. The Dragon God statue's eyes released a dazzling light. Jiang He, who stood on the dragon claw, received the Dragon God's gaze, carrying the entire Divine Dragon Empire's luck. His body exuded an overwhelming dragon might. Auspicious signs visible to the naked eye spread out from his body. Mu Zifeng frowned slightly and said somewhat unhappily, Xiao Chen, why did you give up on the Dragon Emperor position? If you did not, then you, Xiao Chen, would be the one carrying the entire Divine Dragon Empire's luck. That's right. However, in that case, the path I take will be the same as what Dragon Emperor Xiao Yun laid 50,000 years ago. The karma between me and the Blue Dragon race will never be resolved. The epic that I started is actually Dragon Emperor Xiao Yun's unfulfilled wish. It looks perfect, but in reality, it is just a pawn. Xiao Chen's heart was as clear as a mirror. After learning the truth from the dragon spirit, he had a plan. What's wrong with that? Even if you are a pawn, you are a pawn in control of your own fate. You can also bring the Blue Dragon race supreme glory. My heavenly alliance can continue to be glorious for another epoch. Mu Zifeng remained angry, not understanding Xiao Chen's thoughts. Just because you are willing to be a pawn does not mean that I am willing. Furthermore, do you know what the consequences are? Be it the blood-soaked Dragon Emperor back then, the later Dragon Emperor Xiao Yun, or the Kunlun Realm's Qing Emperor, they were all unparalleled peak experts. They were all insufferably arrogant, peerless powerhouses of their era. Xiao Chen's expression did not change as he continued. However, do you know what the consequences are? It will lead to the destruction of the Blue Dragon race. Be it in the Great Thousand Realms or the Kunlun Realm, it will lead to the destruction of the Blue Dragon race. Countless people will have their families destroyed and die a violent death. All because of the Blue Dragon bloodline. This is because there are no undefeatable experts, no indestructible dynasties, and no immortal beauties in this world. If I become the Dragon Emperor and start the Divine Dragon epoch, the dragon race will become incredibly strong, ruling the entire Great Thousand Realms. However, when the epoch ends, it will be like the current martial epoch's Holy Lord, miserable and desolate, deserted by everyone, perhaps even worse. Such a Divine Dragon epoch is not what I want. In the end, it will just be repeating the same mistakes. Mu Zifeng sensed something unusual. Then he looked at Xiao Chen and asked, What are you trying to do? I want to end the epoch. Xiao Chen enunciated every word incredibly calmly. The moment Xiao Chen said that, the expressions of everyone in the surroundings changed drastically. Ending the epoch? Such lofty aspirations and boldness were something they had never thought of before. It was not that they could not think of it, they did not dare to think of it. I support Big Brother Xiaochun. It is time for the epic to come to an end. It is an endless cycle of destruction and reincarnation. Too many innocent people died during the birth of every epoch. Ao Jiao stepped forward and expressed her position, decisively supporting Xiaochun. The others remained silent. However, their gazes on Xiaochun clearly changed. Aside from shock, there was also admiration in their complicated expressions. Have you ever thought about the consequences of failure? Mu Zifeng felt shocked in his heart. He felt an indescribable weakness when facing Xiaochun. The other party's boldness, breadth of mind, and strength completely suppressed him. Xiaochun, the small fry, is preparing to leave. The blind old man's voice projection rang out in Xiaochun's mind. Then he looked at Mu Zifeng and said, "Let's not discuss this for now. I have some things to deal with. Lord Mu, don't worry. No matter what I do, I will definitely protect the Heavenly Alliance in the future. However, I might not obtain the overlord position that you imagine." Without giving Mu Zifeng a chance to speak, Xiaochun soared into the air and landed on a tall building. Then he shouted softly, "You are already here. Are you still going to leave?" Xiaochun's voice was not loud, but it rang out clearly in everyone's ears. The sound waves contained Xiaochun's soul energy. As his voice spread out, it locked onto the people Xiaochun was looking for. "Still not showing yourselves." Xiaochun threw a palm strike at the sky. Then 3 bolts of electric light descended from the sky without any warning. Electric light immediately encased Shi, Yuanzhen, and Wenrinyu. They could not hide from the surrounding crowd. Whoosh! 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 The surrounding dragon race disciples quickly moved, pulling away from the 3. In the blink of an eye, the surroundings of Dragon God Plaza emptied out, leaving only the 3. When she saw that the Shadow Dragon Sovereign already controlled the situation in Ancestor Dragon City, the Divine Dragon Empire, which should have been a helper, ended up helping Xiaochun instead. Furthermore, the Heavenly Alliance's Faux God experts blocked the Bushan Palace's Faux God experts. Xiaochun already considered retreating. Qin Ming's death and the Purple Gold Dragon Emperor's defeat caused the earlier trap to lose an important link. This caused the situation to flip. Xiaochun's original plan of catching a turtle in a jar and suppressing Xiaochun with its momentum reversed. Fortunately, for some reason, Xiaochun actually gave the Dragon Emperor position to Jianghe. This made Shi Yuanzhen and Wenrinyu, who originally despaired, rejoice. After some discussion, they unanimously decided to leave immediately. After losing the Dragon Emperor position, Xiaochun's luck would inevitably suffer. In the future, they would definitely find a better opportunity to kill Xiaochun, not giving him a chance to turn things around. However, the crowd had not expected that Xiaochun, who had just thought of retreating, would pull it out before everyone's eyes. She looked at Xiaochun and said coldly, "Xiaochun, what are you trying to do? Do you think that you can kill us after finding us?" Xiaochun knew that the 3 of them definitely had faux gods protecting them in the dark. If they wanted to leave, there was no way for them to stay. Wenrinyu and Yuanzhen did not say anything either. They just looked at Xiaochun with hostile expressions. "I'm not trying to kill you. I'm giving you a chance." "What chance?" "I'm giving you a chance to kill me. You cast aside your prejudices and scheme to work together to kill me. Now that I am here, why are you leaving?" Yuanzhen looked around. Then he looked at the blind old man standing beside the Heaven Dragon. Then he looked at the older generation experts in Ancestor Dragon City. Yuanzhen said sullenly, "You want to fight the 3 of us alone? I guarantee that the older generation experts of Ancestor Dragon City, the Heaven Dragon, the Shadow Dragon Sovereign, and the Heavenly Alliance's experts will not help you." Xiaochun smiled faintly and said, "That's right. I believe this is your plan from the start, right? You want the Purple Gold Dragon Emperor to sit back and do nothing, allowing the 3 of you to work together to stop me from arriving at the Dragon God Plaza, and then wait for an opportunity to kill me? I'll give you a chance to work together to kill me now. I guarantee that no one will help you." Shi's thoughts raced. Xiaochun wants to settle this once and for all, defeating the epic masters of the 3 super factions. However, where does Xiaochun get his confidence to face the 3 of them alone? If Xiaochun became the Dragon Emperor, and inherited the entire Divine Dragon Empire's luck, he might be able to fight against the three of them alone. Could there be a trap? However, if the three of them did not even dare to accept such a challenge, it would deal a severe blow to their confidence. In the future, when they face Xiao Chun, they would be at a disadvantage before the fight even started. Chapter 2359. Just as Shi, Wenrinyu, and Yuan Zhen considered retreating, Xiao Chun suddenly stepped forward. Xiao Chun gave the three a chance to work together and fight him. Before coming, the three had already made arrangements to facilitate this opportunity with the Purple Gold Dragon Emperor. Unexpectedly, the situation of the fight to become the Dragon Emperor changed in an instant. The Purple Gold Dragon Emperor, who was supposed to support them, fell, and the Shadow Dragon Sovereign took over the Divine Dragon Empire, forcing the three to leave. However, Xiao Chun suddenly returned this opportunity to them. Xiao Chun Swear that none of the dragon race older generation experts here, including the Shadow Dragon Sovereign and the Heaven Dragon, will make a move. The three of us will fight you. A crafty look flashed in Shi's eyes as he looked at Xiao Chun. Originally, Xiao Chun was the one giving them a chance. However, she made it sound like Xiao Chun was begging them. Xiao Chun said softly, "I swear on Xiao Chun's name that this fight will be between the four of us. If I break this oath, I, Xiao Chun, will die a horrible death, falling to my heart demon forever." Good. She laughed loudly after hearing that. Then he said, "Xiao Chun, do you really think that you can kill the three of us in one go? I'll give you that chance now." At the same time, she looked at Wenrinyu and Yuan Zhen. "What do the two of you think? I have no objections. If we still lose even when fighting 3 against 1, there is no need to fight with him for the Epic Sun title." Wenrinyu looked rather carefree. If they lost even when fighting 3 against 1, they would not have the face to continue fighting. "As I have heard, I swear not to become a Buddha until hell is empty." Yuan Zhen chanted scriptures endlessly. He pressed his palms together, and Buddhist light continuously erupted from his body. Shi and Wenrinyu exchanged looks. They knew that Yuan Zhen was summoning the Buddhist nation, waiting for the Buddhist nation to descend. Yuan Zhen's combat prowess would soar wildly, reaching the level of a faux god, or even surpassing that of a faux god. What the two needed to do now was delay Xiao Chun, and buy time for Yuan Zhen. She waved his hand, and the scarlet dragon image on the sage cloak moved. After a while, a scarlet dragon roared out. A bloody flame burned in his demonic eye of fear, burning out of his eye sockets and lingering under his brows. Boom. A horrifying demonic might instantly swept through the entire ancestor dragon city. Black demonic clouds roared in the sky like a sea. "Forbidden art, devour all life," she shouted, and a horrifying devouring force burst forth from his left eye. It gathered at one point and surged toward Xiao Chun. In an instant, wherever his gaze passed, space and time seemed to distort under the suction of the devouring power. The distorted space wriggled like a snake. How fast was the speed of sight? With just a glance, one would be hit. Xiao Chun's body was immediately entangled by this devouring power. This was the devouring power that came from the demon eye. Like a spider web, she did not care about exhausting himself as he wrapped around Xiao Chun layer by layer. Within a breath's time, thousands of layers of devouring power entangled Xiao Chun, dragging him toward Shi's demonic eye. Even a faux god would find it hard to break free if caught by the devouring demonic eye. Shi's demonic eye's demonic eye had already been incredibly horrifying long ago. Now that his strength had improved significantly, this demonic eye was even more terrifying. Even Xiao Chun found it hard to struggle free. Die. Wenrinyu revealed a sinister smile as a holy mirror appeared in his hand. This was the supreme treasure of the profound heaven holy land, the profound heaven mirror. This supreme treasure had been passed down for countless epochs. During the martial epoch, it once had the legendary feat of killing a faux god. The instant the mirror enveloped Xiao Chun, he felt a dangerous aura encircling him. His heart skipped a beat. No way. I absolutely cannot let it hit me. If I drive this profound heaven mirror at full power, the consequences will be dire. Indeed, this group of people came prepared. They had great teamwork and made thorough preparations. No wonder they all revealed crafty smiles after I swore. However, now that she drove the devouring demonic eye at full power, Xiaochen estimated that even a faux god would find it hard to struggle free quickly. If Xiaochen could not break this devouring power quickly, the profound heaven mirror would definitely strike him. The situation immediately turned extremely dangerous. No one had expected this. The moment they started fighting, Xiaochen fell into such a desperate situation, catching everyone off guard. In the time it took for a spark to fly, Xiaochen quickly made a decision. He stopped resisting and allowed Xi's devouring demonic eye to pull him over. Whoosh! In the blink of an eye, Xi's demonic eye swallowed up Xiaochen, and the profound light from the mirror missed. How can it be like this? Wenrenyu paled, his eyes bloodshot as he panted continuously. That earlier strike nearly drained all his soul energy and divine energy, bringing out the might of the superior grade soul treasure in his hand to its limits. Even a peak faux god would be severely injured, or even killed in one hit. Unexpectedly, Xiaochen gave up resisting and allowed Xi to swallow him up, perfectly dodging the attack. Although Wenrenyu felt dissatisfied, Xi showed joy on his face. He laughed maniacally. Ha ha ha. Xiaochen, you are seeking death. My demonic eye is an inheritance of the ancient god demon. Even if a faux god enters, only death awaits them. Watch as I use the power of the god demon. Bang! Before Wenrenyu could finish speaking, a saber light flashed, and his head instantly exploded. Amid the scarlet light, Xiaochen reappeared with Heavenly Slayer in hand. Then, Xiaochen tore off the blood dragon cloak from Wenrenyu's body, not continuing to kill him. Then, he looked at Yuanzhen, who was summoning the Buddhist nation. The vague form of the Buddhist nation appeared. Yuanzhen revealed a confident expression, showing no fear. Xiaochen recalled his experience in the Yanwu dynasty. He knew that the Buddhist nation was like the god demon's nation, hard to break. Right now, the vague form of the Buddhist nation appeared. Regular killing moves would find it hard to break it. Go over. As the power of cycles circulated, Xiaochen shouted and took a ferocious step forward. With this step, it felt like the entire Great Thousand Realms blocked him, preventing him from advancing at all. He faced unprecedented resistance. Kasie. However, Yuanzhen managed to take this step in the end. With one step, he traveled to the future. As I have heard, hell is not empty. In the past, Yuanzhen had just pressed his palms together and chanted 2 lines of scripture. The Buddhist nation had not even appeared. Horror flashed in Yuanzhen's eyes when he faced Xiaochen, who suddenly appeared out of nowhere, catching him off guard. Pooh! Xiaochen mercilessly stabbed the flawless saber intent, which surpassed fortuitous encounters, into Yuanzhen's forehead. Now, time and space returned to the present. The vague form of the Buddhist nation shattered, and a figure appeared before Yuanzhen. The slender saber blade stabbed into Yuanzhen's forehead. The Kitagarbha Bodhisattva's remnant soul in Yuanzhen's soul pool let out a sharp, miserable shriek. Yuanzhen. This startled Wenrenyu. He turned around and raised the profound heaven mirror, preparing to overdraw on his life force to strike Xiaochen. The future. Xiaochen shouted. Then light and shadow flashed, appearing in the future behind Wenrenyu. Then he chopped Wenrenyu in half with his peak saber strike. Past, present, future, flowers bloom with a thought. The dragon race experts below were flabbergasted as they watched, sighing in amazement. The dragon race experts saw 3 blue lotus flowers bloom, and a figure stood on them. The instant the flowers bloomed, Xi's head exploded, the saber pierced Yuanzhen's forehead, and Wenrenyu was chopped in half. The instant the flowers bloomed, they illuminated 3 lives. 3 figures layered over each other. Wenrenyu, Xi, and Yuanzhen were instantly defeated. Xiaochen's originally dangerous situation instantly reversed. Blood continuously squirmed around Xi's neck as he lay on the ground. Soon a new head grew out. Xi's eyes looked like those of a normal person. However, he appeared fatigued and incredibly weak, finding even moving incredibly difficult. Xiaochen did not destroy Xi's divine seal. On account of Xi being Dragon Emperor Xiaoyan's pawn, he spared Xi's life. However, with Xi's demonic eye destroyed, his strength plummeted. He lost his sharpness and could no longer compete with Xiaochen. As for Wenrenyu, he was not as fortunate. Xiao Chen's peak saber strike destroyed both his physical body and divine seal. The three figures layered over each other. Xiao Chen held Heavenly Slayer as he stood in front of Yuan Zhen. Xiao Chen maintained the posture of half the saber piercing Yuan Zhen's forehead. As for Yuan Zhen, Xiao Chen only wanted to cut off the karma between him and the Kittigarbha Bodhisattva. He did not kill Yuan Zhen until the Kittigarbha Bodhisattva's remnant soul in Yuan Zhen's soul pool was destroyed. As blood spurted out, Xiao Chen pulled out his saber and sheathed Heavenly Slayer. Yuan Zhen's eyes slowly regained clarity. Then, he wobbled like a broken kite and fell to the ground. In the distant Yinwu dynasty, the Kittigarbha Bodhisattva's Buddhist statues in the thousands of temples Yuan Zhen built crumbled. The auspicious signs in the Buddhist nation on the ground scattered. The ordinary people living there appeared dazed as if they just woke up from a dream. One thought to live, one thought to die. Xiao Chen chose to take the risk of fighting the three. If he had not dodged the profound heaven mirror strike, he would have been the one to die. If he had dodged, the other party would have been the one to die. This extremely dangerous gamble also brought a huge harvest, dealing with the three hidden dangers once and for all. From then on, no other faction's epic masters could compete with Xiao Chen. Dressed in white, Xiao Chen looked boundlessly elegant, making all the cultivators in Ancestor Dragon City admire him. Even the many foe gods of the Heavenly Alliance and the Bushin Palace felt somewhat horrified. Ashamed of their inferiority, they had to admit that Xiao Chen was now the strongest person in the world. Now that he grasped the cycle Great Tao, no one could defeat him head-on. I have 2 supreme treasures to give to 2 seniors. I will leave the Divine Dragon Empire to you. In the future, please take care of my Kunlun realm's Blue Dragon bloodline. Xiao Chen arrived before the Shadow Dragon Sovereign and the Heaven Dragon Jiang Tian. Then he handed the Emperor Dragon sword that he obtained from Qin Ming to Jiang Tian. Then he solemnly handed the royal genealogical record that he obtained from the Blue Dragon's treasure trove to the Shadow Dragon Sovereign. The blind old man was loyal to Xiao Chen in the first place. Now that he obtained the royal genealogical record, he would definitely take care of the Blue Dragon bloodline. Given that, the Blue Dragon would definitely have a foothold in the Divine Dragon Empire in the future. Seniors of Ancestor Dragon City, does anyone have any objections to Jiang He becoming the new Dragon Emperor of my Divine Dragon Empire as the Heaven Dragon's descendant? Given Jiang He's qualifications, many people would be unconvinced if he wanted to suppress these dragon race older generation experts. This was especially so for the Silver Dragon bloodlines and the Golden Dragon bloodlines. However, after seeing Xiao Chen's strength, practically no one dared to look him in the eye when he spoke. As far as the eye could see, no one dared to say anything. Congratulations on the birth of the Dragon Emperor, Jiang He, Xiao Chen shouted. Then he suddenly took out the Emperor Dragon throne, the supreme treasure of the dragon race that had been passed down for countless epochs. Immediately, a vast and pure Emperor Dragon's might spread out, causing the many dragon race disciples to tremble. Under the pressure of this Emperor Dragon's dragon might, the many dragon race disciples fell to their knees. Jiang He gave Xiao Chen a deep look as he stood on the dragon god statue. After some hesitation, he sat on the throne. At this moment, as everyone cheered for the birth of a new dragon emperor. In an inconspicuous pavilion in Ancestor Dragon City, Yen Songming revealed a cold smile as he watched Jiang He sit on the Emperor Dragon throne with a cold expression. A crystal ball in Yen Songming's left palm projected the earlier scene into the distance. In the distant soaring dragon great realm, where the Black Dragon King was sealed, Zhen Yuan looked through the crystal ball and saw the scene that Yen Songming sent over. To think that his cycle Great Tao is so strong. However, he already revealed his trump card. He can forget about reversing time and space before me. Crack. Zhen Yuan's eyes suddenly turned pitch black as he crushed the crystal ball. Then he muttered to himself. It is time for the martial epic to end. Blood stained the surroundings of the sealed land. 10 odd foe god corpses lay cold on the ground. These were the foe gods who felt dissatisfied and wanted to stop the Black Dragon King from returning to reality and ending the martial epoch. However, all their efforts were futile. They all died at Zhen Yuan's hands. These foe gods did not know that the Black Dragon King would not end the martial epoch. Instead, The martial epic's luck was about to run out, giving the Black Dragon King the opportunity to destroy it. Right now, all the luck of the martial epic was in the Black Dragon King's seal. When the Black Dragon King broke the seal, he would run out of luck, and the end would arrive. Whoosh! The Black Dragon King's veritable essence energy physical body turned into a clump of black shadow, a clump of pure demonic thought. Then, it instantly entered the seal amid a flash of black light. In the next moment, cracks appeared in the ground, and the entire soaring dragon great realm trembled endlessly. A pitch-black demonic claw broke out of the ground. The claw ferociously clenched, seeming to crush something. In the Divine Dragon Empire's ancestor dragon city in the central Great Realm, Jiang He had just sat down on the Emperor Dragon throne. The god-killing sword in the Shadow Dragon Sovereign's hand buzzed endlessly as it gave off a dense black light, trying to struggle free of the Shadow Dragon Sovereign's hand. Whoosh! The Shadow Dragon Sovereign's expression changed dramatically. The god-killing sword struggled free of the Shadow Dragon Sovereign's hand with irresistible force. Then, it turned into a beam of black light and shot into the sky. He is coming out. The Shadow Dragon Sovereign's body trembled slightly, appearing somewhat fearful. As Xiaochen watched the distant beam of black light, he showed a complicated expression. After a long time he sighed. The martial epic is over. Chapter 2360. Suddenly, the god-killing sword struggled free of the blind old man's hand, and turned into a beam of light, flying far away. Xiao Chun and the blind old man felt startled. They knew that the Black Dragon King was coming out. Back then, the blood-soaked Dragon Emperor used the martial epic's luck to seal the Black Dragon King. If the Black Dragon King broke the seal, it would mean that the martial epic's luck had reached its end. When the Black Dragon King completely came out, the martial epic would begin to end. Although the foe gods present did not recognize the god-killing sword, they were bound to the martial epic. They already sensed that something was wrong. Horror appeared in their hearts, acutely sensing that the world was about to change. Needless to say, the foe gods of the Heavenly Alliance and the Bushin Palace all knew what was going to happen. This day would come sooner or later. Many foe gods could not sleep at night, living in fear. They feared that the apocalypse would arrive, forcing them to fall. However, when this day truly arrived, most of them discovered that they were not as afraid as they imagined. Compared to the fear and horror of day and night, this was a form of release. Whoosh! Suddenly, a resplendent light burst forth in the sky northeast of the Divine Dragon Empire. In the next moment, scarlet light rained down like a meteor shower. Mu Zifeng looked up, and his expression immediately changed drastically. Then he looked at Swearenji and Hua Tianyang, who were beside him. Swearenji and Hua Tianyang did not say anything, only silently nodding. Zifeng, I'll leave the Heavenly Alliance to you in the future, Hua Tianyang said softly as he looked at Mu Zifeng with a smile. Hua Tianyang said softly as he looked at Mu Zifeng with a smile on his face. Mu Zifeng's expression changed dramatically as he grabbed Hua Tianyang. However, right after Mu Zifeng grabbed Hua Tianyang's hand, Hua Tianyang's physical body shattered, turning into ashes. Hua Tianyang's body shattered, turning into ashes. A beam of divine light soared into the sky. The resplendent light illuminated all of Ancestor Dragon City, so dazzling that no one could open their eyes. In the next moment, the light vanished, turning into a scarlet meteor that bloomed like fireworks. This sudden scene shocked the surrounding cultivators in Dragon God Plaza. How could a foe god die just like that? No. Although Mu Zifeng knew that this day would come sooner or later, he still could not accept seeing Hua Tianyang fall before him. Swearenji sighed softly. The old alliance chief was injured in the first place. He definitely wouldn't be able to last long in this great change. But I won't be able to hold on for long. The foe god flame in Swearenji's soul pool was like a fallen leaf drifting in the wind and rain. Swaying, the light dimmed bit by bit. Mu Zifeng turned his head to look. At this moment, Swearenji's face showed unprecedented signs of aging. Where are you going? Mu Zifeng asked softly when he noticed Swearenji's intention to leave. Let's go back to the sect in the netherworld. Even if we're going to die, we should die where we want to die. I'll leave my family in the Heavenly Alliance to you. After fighting with you for half my life, I really did not expect such an outcome." Swearenji laughed at himself, turned around, waved his hand, and left alone. Be it the Heavenly Alliances or the Bushin Palace's faux gods, they all sensed the great changes in the world. He noticed that his faux god flame could no longer absorb divine energy from the world. Some of the world's laws had already been broken, unable to support the burning of the divine flame. Some people bawled, tears flowing down their cheeks endlessly. Some people felt dissatisfied, frantically consuming powerful divine herbs and searching for a place where the divine flame could continue burning. However, most of the Heavenly Alliances and Bushin Palace's faux gods remained calm like Swearenji. Before they died, they went to an old haunt in their hearts and waited for the divine flame to extinguish. In the past, these faux gods could summon the wind and rain, pluck the stars and grab the moon. They could crush countless sovereign emperors with a wave of their hands. At this moment, these faux gods showed unprecedented humbleness, inspiring sorrow in others. Xiaochen looked at these departing faux gods, at their faces of despair, calm or despair. Suddenly, Xiaochen recalled that many years ago, when the immortal epic was destroyed, those helpless immortals were probably like this as well. After he comes out, he will definitely come to you first. The Shadow Dragon Sovereign said as he looked at Xiaochen. Xiaochen nodded and said, I know. I'll leave my friends in senior's care for now. Don't worry. I will do my best to protect them. Xiaochen sighed in his heart. Then he went over and said goodbye to Lu Riyue and Ao Jiao. Then he instructed the two to remain in the Divine Dragon Empire, and not to leave Ancestor Dragon City. Xiaochen, I do not blame you for not becoming the Dragon Emperor. However, you have to destroy the Black Dragon King. Mu Zifeng enunciated every word as he looked at Xiaochen, a heavy murderous intent gathering on his face. Xiaochen looked at Mu Zifeng. Then he looked at the worried Lu Riyue and Ao Jiao. Then he looked at Jianghe. These were all familiar faces. If Xiaochen could not defeat the Black Dragon King, these old friends of his, these beautiful memories of his life, would all be destroyed by the Black Dragon King, utterly destroyed. They would all be destroyed by the Black Dragon King, completely and utterly destroyed. After saying that, Xiaochen turned and left. After saying that, Xiaochen turned and left. After he walked out of the city gates, he looked back. Scarlet meteors already filled the entire sky of the Divine Dragon Empire. That was the blood of faux gods, turning into countless tiny specks of dust. Then the world's most beautiful flowers bloomed in the dust, creating a tragic scene in this doomsday. You are going to the desolate sea, right? The clear-eyed, she jumped down from the city walls. Then he covered his mouth with his right hand and coughed heavily. The desolate sea had two powerful formations. The Heavenly Tao Killing Formation, and the Great Desolate Blood Dragon Formation, materialized with the wings of time as the formation core. Back then, Dragon Emperor Xiaoyan had poured his life's effort into preparing these formations for the Black Dragon King. The formations could only be activated by combining the Heavenly Slayer Saber and the Blood Dragon Cloak. Although you obtain the Blood Dragon Cloak and the Heavenly Slayer Saber, you can only activate the Heavenly Tao Killing Formation. If you want to activate the Great Desolate Blood Dragon Formation, you have to kill me. As she looked at Xiaochen, his stern face did not reveal much. However, she's right hand, which was clenched into a fist, trembled endlessly, revealing the struggle in his heart. She had hesitated for a long time before appearing before Xiaochen, and saying this. She did not want to die. Everyone feared death, and she was no exception. However, she was now seeking death from Xiaochen. At this moment, the insufferably arrogant and terrifying Lord Shi, who once inspired fear in the ancient Yan Emperor tomb, appeared incredibly weak. Xiaochen replied softly, I know. The old dragon horse once said that Dragon Emperor Xiaoyan's plan would allow only one of them to survive. According to Dragon Emperor Xiaoyan's plan, Xiaochen would become the Dragon Emperor, and she would become the Demon Monarch. Then the two would fight, and the victor would receive all his inheritance. From that moment on, Xiaochen had new thoughts about becoming the Dragon Emperor. Did Xiaochen want to become the Dragon Emperor himself, or did a dead person from tens of thousands of years ago want him to become the Dragon Emperor? The answer was the latter. Xiao Chen had no desire for power or status. He was naturally free. For a long time, Xiao Chen had felt a sense of duty, passively wanting to become the Dragon Emperor. This was what it meant by having no choice. Shock filled Qi's face. He asked somewhat incoherently, "Then why did you leave me alive? Did you kill my friends? Do we have an old grudge? Did you cross my bottom line? If not, why would I kill you? If not, why would I kill you?" It was just a simple sentence, but it stirred up huge waves in Qi's heart. His entire worldview was toppled. However, can you kill the Black Dragon King with just the Heavenly Tao killing formation? Anxiety filled Qi's eyes, urgently wanting to know Xiao Chen's answer. If I don't try, who knows? I can't possibly kill someone I don't want to kill just because of this. My heart will not forgive me. Outside Ancestor Dragon City, blood rain fell from the dark sky on the desolate land. As the blood rain fell like meteors, Xiao Chen revealed a faint smile. He said softly, "You escaped Dragon Emperor Xiao Yun's karma and can live for yourself. Why seek death? Bless me. I will definitely kill the Black Dragon King. I believe in my own choice." With this smile, she suddenly understood why Xiao Chen could fight 1 against 3 and why he was inferior to him. This was because from the very start, Xiao Chen had a pure heart. Even though he ruled the world now, dominating the past and present, his original heart remained, never changing. Cloud water marsh, a spring every 10 steps and a river every 50 kilometers. The hazy mist lingered for tens of thousands of years. After putting on the blood-clad sage robes, Xiao Chen passed through the mist and arrived at the desolate sea. Then, he sat on a rock and hugged Heavenly Slayer, resting with his eyes closed. After some time, the mournful cries in the world grew louder. Then Xiao Chen opened his eyes. A scarlet light illuminated the sky of the entire central great realm. Thousands of meteors turned into a boundless blood rain. Xiao Chen stretched out his hand and let a drop of blood rain land on his palm. Xiao Chen squinted and sent in his soul energy. Scenes unfolded before his eyes. These were the remnant memories of a certain faux god. The imprint that a legend once left in the world. However, they now turned into a sorrowful blood rain, sinking into the soil. Boom! A beam of black light fell together with the blood rain. When it landed, the black light coalesced into a human figure. This person was tall and wore heavy black dragon armor. His fingertips were covered in sharp metal armor. This person looked like the claws of a wild beast, holding a pitch-black sword that gave off a faint dark light. Veritable essence energy could be vaguely seen on the face under the helmet. Without a doubt, this person was the Black Dragon King. "You've been waiting for me for a long time, right?" The Black Dragon King looked at Xiao Chen and smiled. However, his smile was extremely horrifying, making one tremble in fear. "I have been wanting to kill you for a long time." The instant the flower bloomed, it illuminated 3 lifetimes. Xiao Chen drew Heavenly Slayer and executed the 3-life flower at lightning speed, wanting to cross space and time to kill the Black Dragon King. However, when Xiao Chen was about to take that step, he was somewhat surprised to discover that he could not break the space-time barrier in front of the Black Dragon King. Unable to advance or retreat, the god-killing sword in the Black Dragon King's hand stabbed at Xiao Chen's chest, carrying a heavy state of ruin. Dang! The saber scabbard held horizontally in front of Xiao Chen's chest. This sword strike knocked him back. The state of ruin lingered in his ears, and a deep dragon roar echoed endlessly. "I've already seen your trump card in the Dragon God Plaza. As long as I keep my guard up, it will not be that easy for you to break the space-time barrier before me." The Black Dragon King revealed a disdainful smile as he said softly, "Actually, I can attack you the instant you break the space-time barrier. I can let the space-time tear you apart. However, that would be pointless. There is no point in boasting." Flawless Saber Dao, endless cycle. Xiao Chen gave up on instantly killing the other party. Then he shouted coldly and pressed forward while holding Heavenly Slayer. He used the cycle Great Dao to materialize his own flawless saber intent. Then, he connected it with the Heavenly Dao's killing intent contained in Heavenly Slayer, and unleashed a vast and boundless saber move. Excitement flickered in the Black Dragon King's eyes as he said softly, "Cycle Great Dao. I have yet to taste what it feels like to destroy the cycle Great Tao. Ha 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 ha. The Black Dragon King laughed maniacally as he drew his sword. The two started a startling battle in the desolate sea. Xiao Chen's supreme saber Dao, which surpassed the epic, became incredibly sharp with the support of the power of cycle. Saber lights filled the sky. As they flickered, the sky alternated between black and white. Every saber strike contained the might to easily shatter stars. The continuous saber moves connected with the power of cycle. The saber lights turned into an ancient blue dragon that circled the world and roared ferociously under the guidance of the saber lights. The Black Dragon King fought strength with strength. Be it the cycle Great Tao's power of life or power of death, they all shattered. When the will of destruction touched him, it was completely destroyed. The will of destruction lingered in this world. It was like the will of heaven, unquestionable. It was like fighting against the heavenly Tao. Xiao Chen brought out everything he had, bringing out his saber Dao to an unprecedented level. The dragon armor on the Black Dragon King's body was already riddled with holes from Xiao Chen's attacks. However, the originally fatal killing move penetrated the dragon armor and struck the Black Dragon King's body. This person seemed to be blessed by heaven, like the incarnation of the heavenly Tao, possessing boundless life force. I am the incarnation of destruction, born from a calamity. I represent the heavenly Tao. The heavenly Tao's killing intent contained in the saber in your hand cannot injure me. Back then, the blood-soaked dragon emperor could not kill me. What more you? The Black Dragon King mocked softly as he looked at the pale, blood-stained Xiao Chen, who appeared to be in a sorry state. The other party's trump card was the cycle Great Tao, tearing space and time. Aside from this killing move, which was somewhat strange and needed to be wary of, the Black Dragon King did not fear any of Xiao Chen's killing moves. Even with the cycle Great Tao's flawless saber intent supporting it, the Black Dragon King did not fear it. Xiao Chen revealed a smile on his pale face. He said softly, "Have you never thought that there was no reason for me to force you here despite being covered in wounds?" The Black Dragon King's expression changed slightly. When he looked up, he saw a blood moon hanging in the sky. Moonlight poured out, encasing the Black Dragon King. Xiao Chen tightly grasped Heavenly Slayer and pointed it at the sky, activating the Heavenly Tao killing formation. Immediately, the Heavenly Tao's killing intent that had existed since the birth of the martial epic poured endlessly into the saber. The Heavenly Tao's killing intent came from all over the desolate sea and gathered on Heavenly Slayer. A dense scarlet light spread out. The terrifying killing intent made boundless blood like snowflakes fall from the sky. Wings of Time, Heavenly Tao killing formation. When the Black Dragon King saw the Heavenly Tao's killing intent in Heavenly Slayer continuously strengthen, some fear finally appeared in his heart. No killing move in the world could truly kill the Black Dragon King. The Black Dragon King was the incarnation of the Heavenly Tao. Only heaven could subdue him. When the Heavenly Tao's killing intent reached a certain level, it could truly kill the Black Dragon King. You want to kill me with just this formation? You are too naive. The Black Dragon King withdrew his smile and slowly turned grave. The source of destruction in his body surged wildly. What if I join in? However, just at this moment, the Black Dragon King recalled a discordant voice. He turned his head in the direction of the voice. Whoosh! The Black Dragon King's eyes immediately got pierced. He saw a blazing sun, an extraordinarily huge sun, hovering in the air. The blazing primal chaos sun blazed fiercely in the sky above a figure. That figure's appearance could not be clearly seen under the piercing light. Only the smile on that figure's face could be seen. It was like the morning sun, resplendent with the sun and colorful clouds filling the sky. Chapter 2361. Chu Chaoyan. This startled Xiao Chen. Unexpectedly, when he needed help the most, Chu Chaoyan would step forward at this moment. What shocked Xiao Chen even more was the smile on Chu Chaoyan's face. Back in the ancient Yin Emperor tomb, Chu Chaoyan had been extremely gloomy and uneasy. He had not smiled like this in a long time already. Don't just stand there. Kill this black loach first. Chu Chaoyan shouted at the dazed Xiao Chen as the blazing sun hung high in the sky. Xiao Chen smiled faintly and replied, "Got it." The sun and moon shone together in the boundless desolate sea. A blood moon materialized by the wings of time, and a blazing sun materialized by the universe. Origin flame materialized a miraculous scene that the desolate sea had never seen before. The two cooperated with each other. Chu Chaoyan used the universe origin flame to materialize thousands of killing moves, continuously harassing the Black Dragon King. The blazing sun above was the heavenly flame's origin flame that the Holy Lord had collected since the start of the martial epoch. Xiao Chun had accumulated it for an entire epoch for this day. Even though the Black Dragon King had tough skin and startling defense, it still burned the Black Dragon King's origin flame. The Black Dragon King roared endlessly. The Black Dragon King's origin flame, which merged with the heavenly Tao, materialized boundless attacks that continuously charged at Chu Chaoyan. "Little bastard, I'll kill you." However, Chu Chaoyan possessed the primal chaos Great Tao. As his figure flickered, space and time rippled. Even the Black Dragon King could not pinpoint Xiao Chen's position. The Black Dragon King's horrifying attacks looked incredibly horrifying. Even the shock waves could severely injure Chu Chaoyan. However, the Black Dragon King could not injure Chu Chaoyan. Instead, he ended up playing with him. Rage filled the Black Dragon King's heart, causing openings to appear. Xiao Chun seized the opportunity. Xiao Chun used Heavenly Slayer to drive the Heavenly Tao killing formation. The vast ocean-like Heavenly Tao killing intent materialized all sorts of killing moves. Xiao Chun's flawless Saber Tao, which surpassed the epoch, could easily suppress the Black Dragon King in the first place. However, the other party had the Heavenly Tao's protection. It was born in response to tribulation to begin with, the embodiment of the Heavenly Tao that destroyed an era. Its vitality was practically boundless, and it was impossible to kill it at all. But now, with this Heavenly Tao killing intent that was as dense as the sea, he could borrow the power of the Heavenly Tao to launch an attack, and the situation was completely different. Although the universe origin true flame burned the Black Dragon King in unbearable pain, even burning his soul, the Black Dragon King was in great pain. However, it was not fatal. On the other hand, Xiao Chen's attack, which was infused with the Heaven's Path's killing intent, was a completely different story. It could directly touch his origin of destruction. The clouds rolled in and out, the sun rose and the moon set. The cold blood moon and the blazing sun rose and fell in the desolate sea sky, perfectly displaying the sun and the moon shining together. This was an unprecedented mysterious phenomenon. The originally hopeless situation of the battle was reversed in an instant. Blood spurted out. Saber lights pierced through the Black Dragon King's body, continuously draining his life force. The Black Dragon King's expression turned sullen. He who had been roaring furiously fell silent. Xiao Chun and Chu Chaoyan exchanged glances. They immediately understood that the Black Dragon King was preparing to make a desperate counterattack. Since they already knew, they naturally would not give him a chance. Everlasting Primal Chaos, Ancient One Sword. Mahamaya abstinence violation, kill without mercy. Chu Chaoyan roared, and the Primal Chaos Great Tao spread out from his body. His physical body immediately became like a black hole. Primal chaos spread out like the beginning of the primordial chaos, when the world had yet to be divided, and the sun and moon did not exist. Whoosh! Suddenly, a sword light shot out from that primal chaos, turning into an azure beam of light. This sword split the world, projected the sun and moon, immortal for all time. Xiao Chun drove the Heavenly Tao killing formation, and gathered the boundless Heavenly Tao's killing intent in his body. The saber hum in Xiao Chun's body did not stop, and a terrifying crack tore open in the sky. There seemed to be an eye slowly opening in the crack. If heaven had feelings, it would grow old. Since ancient times, the Heavenly Tao was the most emotionless. If heaven wanted someone to die, they had no choice but to die. Kill without mercy. The two worked together seamlessly. Observing the Black Dragon King's expression, they took the initiative and executed their killing moves at the same time. Boom! A sword light and a saber light pierced through the Black Dragon King at the same time. A sorrowful dragon roar came from the Black Dragon King's body, reverberating in the surroundings. Pussy. The Black Dragon King's facial features twisted as he vomited a mouthful of black blood. His life force drained continuously. Bang! The The saber light and the sword light rampaged around the Black Dragon King's body without any fear. Then they merged and exploded. In that instant, the insufferably arrogant Black Dragon King's physical body exploded. The sun and moon shone together in the desolate sea. Xiao Chun and Chu Chaoyan showed fatigued expressions as they slowly approached. "Is he dead?" Xiao Chun asked doubtfully. He did not believe that the Black Dragon King died just like that. Chu Chaoyan's eyes were like lightning, piercing through the starry heavens. Then he saw a flash of black light vanish from his vision. "This blazing sun should be the trump card that the Holy Lord left behind," Xiao Chun said. Xiao Chun looked at the sky, at the blazing sun that shone as brightly as the moon. Then he looked at Chu Chaoyan. Xiao Chun had thought countless times that the blood moon was the trump card that Xiao Yin materialized with the wings of time. In that case, whose trump card was the blazing sun in the desolate sea? After thinking about it, there was only one answer. Chu Chaoyan did not deny it. He smiled faintly and said, "You are right. After I completely sever the karma, you can tell me." Boom. Right after Xiao Chun spoke, a dragon roar suddenly rang out. The expressions of Xiao Chun and Chu Chaoyan changed slightly. When the two looked up, they saw an unknown object continuously falling. The two slowly approached the desolate sea from the starry heavens. When they saw it clearly, their expressions changed drastically. This was actually a black dragon head. It was just a head, but it encased the entire desolate sea. It's the Black Dragon King's main body. He executed a forbidden art. We cannot let him come down. Otherwise, the entire Central Great Realm will suffer a calamity, Chu Chaoyan said hastily, his expression turning pale with fright. The two roared ferociously, and threw a palm strike at the same time. The sun and moon rose into the sky. The blood moon and sun soared into the sky at the same time, and smashed into the Black Dragon King's head. Rumble. As the shock waves spread out, the entire Central Great Realm, from the 8 great empires to the Xiuwu dynasty, the Yinwu dynasty, the Xinwu dynasty, and the Tianwu dynasty, shook intensely. The world spun around like the end of the world had arrived. Let's go. Xiao Chun and Chu Chaoyan soared into the air, instantly arriving in the boundless starry heavens. When the two clearly saw the Black Dragon King's main body, they both inhaled sharply. The Black Dragon King's colossal body stretched across the starry heavens. The sun, moon, and stars were as insignificant as the glass balls in a child's hand before the Black Dragon King. We absolutely cannot let him appear in the Central Great Realm. The two immediately made up their minds. Given the Black Dragon King's horrifyingly colossal body, it would be an irreversible disaster if he appeared in the Central Great Realm. Chu Chaoyan, do you trust me? Xiao Chun asked as he looked at Chu Chaoyan. If I did not trust you, why would I come and help you? Right after Xiao Chun said that, Xiao Chun and Chu Chaoyan both revealed smiles. They both felt like they had said something pointless. I have a Taiji Yin-Yang flame diagram. If I can control the blood moon and your sun and materialize the Taiji Yin-Yang flame diagram, I will definitely be able to knock him back. I understand. Without needing to say anything more, Xiao Chun spread out the Taiji Yin-Yang flame diagram with a wave of his hand. Then a painting unfurled in his hand and covered the vast starry heavens. Xiao Chun took the lead, absorbing the blood moon into it. The two watched as the Black Dragon King roared in the depths of the starry heavens. Countless stars shattered with a horrifying might. The entire starry heavens trembled. Here. At the critical moment, Chu Chaoyan shouted and finally succeeded in embedding the sun into the Taiji Yin-Yang flame diagram. Sun and moon cycle, endlessly multiplying. Xiao Chun pushed his hand forward. Immediately, the blood moon and the blazing sun turned into a black and white fish. A Taiji Yin-Yang flame diagram formed in this boundless starry heavens, turning into a light screen that forcefully knocked the Black Dragon King back. The two gathered their strength and materialized the Taiji Yin-Yang flame diagram. In the starry heavens, Xiao Chun and Chu Chaoyan worked together to push this diagram, continuously pushing back the Black Dragon King in the boundless, pitch-black starry heavens. The Black Dragon King's colossal body continuously crashed into the Taiji Yin-Yang flame diagram. However, he could not stop himself from being pushed back. The two forces clashed in the starry heavens. Everywhere they passed, Stars exploded and shattered. Crack! Crack! Cracks appeared in the Taiji Yin-Yang flame diagram. Xiaochen quickly said, "Withdraw." After withdrawing the blood moon and the blazing sun, Xiaochen and Chu Chaoyan each landed on a star. The star that Xiaochen landed on was desolate, devoid of spiritual energy. When Xiaochen looked around, he saw a vast, boundless wasteland. Just as he was about to soar into the air and meet up with Chu Chaoyan, the ground under his feet suddenly exploded. The ground under Xiaochen's feet suddenly exploded, and a black spear appeared without any warning, thrusting at him. Bang! Closely following that, the entire star shattered. Intense, fiery shock waves erupted from the core of the star. One of the Black Dragon King's claws directly shattered the star, nearly injuring Xiaochen. It was not over yet. The instant the star exploded, the surrounding space shrank. A suction pulled at Xiaochen. This startled Xiaochen. He knew that the Black Dragon King's dragon claws had grabbed him. However, the other party's dragon claws were too large. Xiaochen did not have time to grab the Black Dragon King. Xiaochen immediately swung his saber, illuminating the surrounding starry heavens. Then he forcefully chopped off a dragon claw and jumped out. But the danger did not stop. In the depths of the universe, in the vast starry sky, the Black Dragon King, who used a forbidden art to revert to his ancestral roots, erupted with strong combat prowess. Although Xiaochen and Chu Chaoyan did their best, they were too insignificant before the Black Dragon King. "Chu Chaoyan, protect me." Xiaochen sent a voice projection. Then he merged Heavenly Slayer into his physical body and bloodline before retreating continuously. "What are you doing?" When Chu Chaoyan saw Xiaochen, he showed a grave expression. Something was wrong with the situation. Previously, we severely injured this Black Dragon King. In a desperate situation, he executed a forbidden art. In reality, he is already a spent force. As long as I successfully execute the forbidden art and revert to my ancestral roots, I will definitely be able to destroy him in one go. In that case, I'll protect you. Before you successfully execute the forbidden art, I guarantee that you will not be injured. Right after Chu Chaoyan spoke, he bit his lip and did not say anything else. Then he brought out his primal chaos great Tao to the limit, and countless stars continuously gathered over. When the stars approached, the primal chaos great Tao shattered them. As the stars shattered, space twisted, and a huge black hole appeared. Chu Chaoyan paled as he roared. At the cost of overdrawing on his life, he drove the primal chaos great Tao without a care for anything else. He used the horrifying black hole to block the Black Dragon King. The Black Dragon King felt danger. However, a distorted black hole formed by swallowing countless stars lay in front of him. Even with the Black Dragon King's current body, he still felt some fear when he looked at that black hole. He sensed the aura of a primal chaos god fiend in it. However, when the Black Dragon King saw Xiaochen, who had merged with a soul tool behind Chu Chaoyan, his aura turned increasingly dangerous. The Black Dragon King had to make a move. He opened his mouth and spat out pitch-black dragon flames of destruction, continuously attacking Chu Chaoyan's body. The Black Dragon King wanted to kill Chu Chaoyan and force him to give up on maintaining the primal chaos great Tao. However, Chu Chaoyan allowed the waves of dragon flames to strike his physical body. He remained as unmoving as a mountain, continuing to drive the primal chaos great Tao. Dragon's Gate Forbidden Art. God-Demon Body Disintegration. Boom. Xiaochen's eyes turned scarlet as he watched Chu Chaoyan block the Black Dragon King's attack, with his body of flesh and blood. Xiaochen had long felt anxious and enraged. Now that the forbidden art finally succeeded, an ancient dragon roar resounded in the starry heavens. Xiaochen's body wriggled continuously. Soon he turned into an ancient blue dragon. However, this was not enough. Xiaochen continued to execute the God-Demon Body Unsealing Art. The ancient blue dragon reverted to its ancestral form, finally turning into a great desolate Aeon Ancestor Dragon. When the ancient great desolate Aeon Ancestor Dragon appeared, some mysterious existences in the depths of the starry heavens trembled in fear. The Ancestor Dragon's body was even larger than the Black Dragon King's, and its dragon might was even stronger. Horror immediately appeared in the Black Dragon King's heart. No matter how strong he could not change the dragon race bloodline in his body. When the Black Dragon King saw the ancestor dragon's fear, it instinctively turned around. The insufferably arrogant Black Dragon King, who claimed to be the incarnation of destruction, fled in panic. You want to leave? No way. Xiaochen roared. Then he infused the Heavenly Dao's killing intent materialized by Heavenly Slayer in his bloodline into his dragon claws. Pa! The primal chaos ancestor dragon pounced forward and struck the Black Dragon King's body with its claw. The Black Dragon King, who was already an arrow at the end of its flight, was already a spent force. The Black Dragon King, who was already a spent force, let out a miserable shriek, and his colossal body crumbled, exploding in the depths of the starry heavens. With one strike, Xiaochen's thoughts turned chaotic. Many chaotic memories of an ancient ancestor dragon appeared in his mind. Xiaochen felt like his head was going to explode. His entire body twisted uncontrollably, causing stars to explode. The side effects of the forbidden art had arrived. If Xiaochen could not maintain his original heart, he would not be able to recover his physical body. This would continue until his bloodline drained, his soul fell, and he died of exhaustion. Seeing the ancestor dragon instantly descend into madness after killing the Black Dragon King, Chu Chaoyan quickly retreated. Xiaochen had nearly injured him. When Chu Chaoyan saw the situation, he frowned slightly. After a while, he gritted his teeth and stepped forward. Then he took the risk to approach Xiaochen, who had already turned into an ancestor dragon. Using his soul energy as a voice, the name Xiaochen continuously echoed in the ancestor dragon's mind. This helped Xiaochen maintain his original heart and not let it fall into chaos. After a long time, just as Chu Chaoyan felt some despair, a light flashed in the great desolate Aeon ancestor dragon's eyes. The berserk aura on the great desolate Aeon ancestor dragon's body slowly dissipated. After a while, its terrifyingly huge body shrank and fell towards a star. I'm back. Chu Chaoyan revealed joy on his face as he said softly. Then he gave chase. About 7 minutes later, Chu Chaoyan saw the fatigued Xiaochen lying on the ground on a desolate star. Can you still stand up? Chu Chaoyan asked with a faint smile. You are not dead. Naturally, I can stand up. Xiaochen stood up with much difficulty. Then he looked at Chu Chaoyan and heaved a sigh of relief. Fortunately, this fellow was really not dead. Earlier, when the Black Dragon King spewed waves of destructive dragon flame at Xiaochen's physical body, it frightened Xiaochen badly. I'm not dead yet, but I'm almost there. Who knew? Chu Chaoyan said something that stunned Xiaochen for a long time. What's wrong? Ha! I thought that with your intelligence, you would have guessed it long ago. Unexpectedly, you are still so shocked. As Chu Chaoyan wiped away the blood on his lips, he revealed a radiant smile. His laughter was melodious, calm and carefree. However, Xiaochen could not bring himself to smile. I already felt that something was wrong with you in Black Wind Ridge. When that sun appeared, I roughly guessed it. Chu Chaoyan sighed softly. Sometimes, I feel really helpless. It was not easy for me to come to this great thousand realms from the Kunlun realm. I thought that I could fly freely, that I could have a new start from here on out. Unexpectedly, I still could not shake off my fate. Back then, the Tianwu dynasty of the Kunlun realm was established by the Holy Lord. His bloodline flows in me. From the start to the end, I was just a pawn that he used to suppress you. Is it strange? Back then, when the Blue Dragon race was destroyed, the Blue Dragon Palace preserved its inheritance and flew to the Kunlun realm. This did not escape the attention of the Holy Lord. The Holy Lord followed the Blue Dragon Palace to the Kunlun realm and established the Tianwu dynasty in the Sky Dome realm, leaving behind this plot. My fate has been intertwined with his from the very beginning. If he lived, I lived. If he died, I died. From the very start, I was a pawn that he used to deal with you. When I learned the truth, I nearly collapsed. When I saw you in the ancient Yan Emperor tomb, I wanted to say something several times but hesitated. At that time, I really admired you. You clearly had no choice, but you still dared to draw your saber and make your own choice. Xiaochen said. Actually, don't say anything. Listen to me. In the future, you won't be able to hear much. Chu Chaoyan interrupted Xiaochen. He narrowed his eyes and revealed a faint smile. Then he said softly, "One day ago, I was still uncertain whether I had no choice but to follow the trend and use the trump card that the Holy Lord left behind to kill you and become the new epic master. Or I could just not resist and die at your hands. However, in Dragon God Plaza, you gave up on the Dragon Emperor position and the luck of the Divine Dragon Empire. At that moment, I knew that I already had my answer. No matter how helpless I was, we all have our own choices in life, and we all have our own perseverance. I don't want to be the epic master or any pawn. I just want to be myself, to be Chu Chaoyan, to be your close friend, Xiaochen." Ha 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 ha. Right after Xiaochen spoke, Chu Chaoyan guffawed. His laughter filled with boundless joy and delight. "The facts prove that I did the right thing. I feel joy in my heart. Since I was born, I have never felt as relaxed and happy as I do now." As Xiaochen faced Chu Chaoyan's carefree laughter, Xiaochen could not bring himself to laugh in his heart. This was clearly a matter of boundless misery. However, Chu Chaoyan spoke casually. If Xiaochen did not become the new epic master, the Holy Lord would definitely die. If the Holy Lord died, Chu Chaoyan, who had the Holy Lord's bloodline and was connected to the Holy Lord's fate, would die as well. In Xiaochen's life he had friends, lovers, and masters. However, there had never been anyone like Chu Chaoyan. Chu Chaoyan was both an opponent and a close friend, with such a deep bond. However, this person would soon die along with the Holy Lord. Let's go. I'll help you with one last thing. The Holy Lord is astute and astute. He still has a trump card that he used to threaten you. I'll help you get it back and easily sever my own karma. What is it? Come with me. The instant Chu Chaoyan turned around, he staggered and nearly fell. Clearly, Chu Chaoyan had overdrawn on his life force to block the Black Dragon King's dragon flame of destruction earlier. Now it was not as easy as it seemed. The two arrived in the starry heavens. Not long after, they discovered a corpse floating in space. Zhen Yuan? Stepping forward, Xiaochen clearly saw the corpse's appearance. Then, a complicated expression appeared on his face. The Black Dragon King was killed. As the host, Zhen Yuan's soul completely merged with the Black Dragon King, and died as well. It looked like the Venerable Xianbei's instructions from back then could not be fulfilled. Let's go. Xiaochen did not feel much sympathy for Zhen Yuan. He brought this upon himself. 1 hour later, under Chu Chaoyan's lead, the two entered the tattered Faux God world. The Void God realm that was once bustling with activity was now completely empty, without the slightest bit of life. All the Faux Gods were already dead, falling along with the destruction of the martial epoch. The two arrived at the Holy City and entered the Divine Palace step by step. A skinny old man wearing a mask lay weakly on a high throne in the depths of the palace. This old man's aura was weak, and his life force was faint. When the old man heard footsteps, he did not open his eyes. He said weakly, "Chaoyan, you're back. Did you kill Xiaochen?" "Yes. I killed Xiaochen. I will become the new epic master." "Really?" The incredibly weak old man on the throne shuddered and sat up. He was so agitated that his voice trembled. The old man looked like he came back to life, brimming with energy. Then he suddenly opened his eyes. He happened to see Chu Chaoyan. His eyes narrowed, and he smiled craftily like a white fox. "Sorry I lied to you, Cassier." Right after Chu Chaoyan spoke, a sword light flashed. Then, Chu Chaoyan killed this dying Holy Lord with one sword strike. Chu Chaoyan stepped forward and searched under the old man's throne. Joy appeared on his face as he took out an item. Then he turned around and said, "For you, Pussy Eye." Before Chu Chaoyan finished speaking, he vomited a mouthful of blood. His pale complexion turned even scarier. A dragon head. Xiaochen caught the item that Chu Chaoyan tossed over. Then he showed a startled expression. This was the Azure Mountain's dragon head that he had been searching for. Chu Chaoyan coughed intensely a few times. Then he smiled and said, "This old man is very sinister. If I failed to kill you, he would use this to threaten you. If this item is destroyed, even in the new epoch, the Blue Dragon bloodline will not be able to rise again." The Holy Lord died. Chu Chaoyan, whose fate was linked to the Holy Lord, visibly lost his life force. However, Chu Chaoyan did not seem to notice. He looked at Xiaochun and asked, "Do you have wine? I suddenly recall that we have known each other for so many years, but I have never had a proper drink with you." Xiaochun took out heartburn and poured a cup for each of them. "How unfortunate. It was not easy for me to live for myself, but I have to leave so soon. However, it does not matter. After this cup, we will be bosom friends in our next lives. There is no such thing as fate. There is no such thing as an undying old man wearing a mask. There is only a bond and friendship. My sword awaits your saber." Chu Chaoyan raised his wine cup and clinked it. The crisp sound of cups clinking rang out. Then Chu Chaoyan coughed endlessly and vomited a large mouthful of blood. The blood fell into the two's cups, dyeing the wine red. This made one's heart ache. "It's dirty." Xiaochun changed to another cup. Plop. Chu Chaoyan, who was changing cups, suddenly felt his hands losing strength to hold the wine cup. As the wine cup fell to the ground and shattered, he fell limply. It looked like he had fallen asleep. Then he closed his eyes with a smile. "Chu Chaoyan." Xiaochun stepped forward and caught her. Then he shouted, "Brother, you're not dead yet." However, that handsome and outstanding Chu Chaoyan, who always had a smile on his face, was already asleep forever. Drip. A tear leaked out of the corner of Xiaochun's eyes as he closed his eyes. The tear fell into the cup and melted into the blood like heart-burning. Xiaochun drained the cup in one go. However, although this wine was called heart-burning, it did not make him feel any heartache. There was a kind of pain called pain at its peak. The heart could no longer feel pain. 5 years later, after Xiaochun dealt with the matters of the Great Thousand Realms, he prepared to head to the Kunlun realm with Lu Ruyue, Ao Jiao, and Emochen. Before parting, Xiaochun looked at the starry heavens and spread his hands. Then, he merged his soul energy with the great Tao and said softly, "I hope that all the men in the world have the heart of a gentleman, that the heavens move vigorously, that they constantly strive to improve themselves. I hope that all the women in the world have the heart to improve themselves, not inferior to men, comparable to the sky. I hope that all the people in the world are like dragons, having the heart of a newborn, not seeking eternal life, only chasing their dreams, not regretting it even if they die." Whoosh! Right after Xiaochun spoke, a crystalline, dazzling seed flew out of his palm and slowly drifted into the sky. "Big brother Xiaochun, what is this?" Emochen asked softly. Xiaochun replied gently, "This is the epic heart that I condensed. It is also a seed, the divine dragon epic that I want. I hope that all the people in the world are like dragons, having the heart of a newborn, not seeking eternal life, only chasing their dreams." However, why not seek eternal life? Because eternal life represents all desires. Eternal life is lived for one's desires, not for oneself. Such a person living is worse than death. If everyone lived forever, then this epic would end sooner or later. Lu Ruyue, Emochun, and Ao Jiao entered deep thought, not really understanding. Xiaochun smiled and said, "Stop thinking about it. Let's go. Let's return to the Kunlun realm." However, when Xiaochun saw the bright moon in the night sky, his smile revealed a trace of bitterness. Back then, the bright moon shone on the colorful clouds. End of book. That you're tuning in to the Li Mei's Wuxia Whispers YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.